Here, I came here thinking I'd just have some space and I'd just enjoy the environment. But what really happened, I guess more than that, is I haven't done any yoga. I haven't really read much of my books. I've just talked to people and I've just gone from one long conversation to another long conversation with really interesting people at very different stages of journeys. But there's lots of different people at lots of different stages, all supporting each other and at their own pace. And just by talking to everyone, piecing it all together.
And I think when you find somewhere that you can call home and be with yourself in a more sort of real way, I think it's a big thing. I think that's. I have thought a little bit about the way that the days are sort of managed here. Sometimes really appreciating the sort of the freedom and independence. So I've been able to take myself off in the afternoon and just go into the library, and then take myself off for a walk. And I thought, what a fantastic place to be doing this. This is a real sort of gift. And then probably on the days that have been more difficult for me, when I've been sort of struggling within, have probably been the days where I thought, oh God, it's a little bit quiet here. I wish there's a bit more structure going on. So I've felt both sides of that, I think. And I could definitely understand why someone might say they would like more structure. But at the same time, I have also had the benefit of enjoying the greater freedom.
I found my name and my number and my email on the promotion literature for the whole shebang. So instead of just being involved with the retreat bookings, I suddenly found I had to answer calls and emails from everybody regarding this practice, which was a good learning curve for me, but a little bit of a shock at the time when the inquiries number rings. And then luckily I was able to be bathed with the benediction of Susan Cross, who works here, as the first point of contact regarding bookings, and that grounded me a little for it, because there's a very empathetic person at the end of the phone who I'd explained my situation, that I don't know anything about this, and here I am. And they kind of talked me through over these last 3 months and have been very understanding.
Now, this is the standard sort of training for a yoga teacher. And there's many different yoga schools that have this 200-hour structure, but an awful lot of them do, for example, 1 weekend a month for, 8 months, or even a day a month for a couple of years or something. But we like to do, which is probably the Zen style really, we like to do what we call total immersion, where it's like they sort of live and breathe yoga. One of their key advantages is, because it's very condensed like this, when they learn something, they're putting it into practice very quickly. So there's a very quick kind of learning process, rather than, you learn a little bit and then you don't use it for a month, and then, you've got to almost pull it back again, and then, you know what I mean, it's very much more stop-start. So we like this it's very efficient. And yes, we do work with smaller groups. Typically we'll work up to, I think the biggest we've had is something like 16 or so. So yes, at the small end, I know here at Gaunts you can take 100 people and probably not even notice it much. We're much more at the, at the small end of things, I guess.
And what invariably tends to happen, once people have learnt the practice, they think, I like that, or there's a retreat next week, any spaces left. So there's a little late rush. And Susan Cross and all of you in the office then have to suffer me ringing up, going, I've got another one, I've got another one, I've got another one. Oh, well, we thought you were only going to be a group of 12, I know. Well, you're up to 38, I know. Oh, I didn't know. So yes, it's lots of people that came to London and listened to the teachings, were accommodators, as it were, that we were given small amount of funding which helped some people that perhaps couldn't afford to come. So, you know, there was a lovely energy of people that would speak, oh, great, I didn't think I'd be able to come, and here I am. That added to the whole magic, and we had an artist came along and performed music, and there was quite a lot of surprises, let us say, which added to the whole happening. In spite of the fact that I would have liked to have just been in a nice quiet little place with a few of us, so to speak, it's been a huge success. Which wasn't what I was expecting, and here we are.
Yeah, I feel there's been a pretty good balance with it. I suppose it's taken me to the end of the week to get an understanding of what people are here for as well, because I don't think everyone here is here for the same thing. Maybe broadly they are kind of here for the same thing, but people I think have got different approaches with their life while they're here in the community, and I feel myself kind of fairly aligned to one or two people, quite similar to one or two people, and probably quite different and distant from one or two other people here. But at the same time, I really like the idea that people are actually here for different reasons, because I think if everyone was here just for some sort of, some sort of advanced spiritual experiences or whatever, I would find that too much, I think. But I like the fact that people are here for all different reasons, and they may be all kind of heading in the same direction, but they're just going about it in slightly different ways, and I think I rather like that. I think it's quite balancing in its own way, and quite healthy. I think it feels, I was talking to Chris about it yesterday, and I said, I think it feels grounding, and it also helps, I suppose, if you're in a tight community and you're all kind of doing the same sort of thing and talking about the same things, you kind of, I suppose it'd be quite easy just to get lost in the group mentality and the group focus and the group beliefs, and then I'd feel like I'm sort of nearly at I went to boarding school for 10 years, and that's pretty much all that happens in boarding school, is you just take on a whole group. It's just group beliefs and group mentality, and I think that's what I'm trying to unwind at the moment, not take on more of it. So so I think that's quite a great thing.
That's what this place gives, isn't it? I think a space where you can figure it out for yourself with no, because even with the best intention, people have their own opinions and are dealing with their own fears and their own anxieties, and that can affect how, until you get sure about what you believe, that can worry you. I was getting all lost with too much head stuff and too many different opinions and books, and not even books, I just knew I wanted to lock myself away almost with my books and feel my way through it myself, because that's what happened to me. I didn't think my way to, well, it just happened. I just got this feeling that all of a sudden, hang on a minute, there's something more. So I figured if I could feel that, then I can feel the truth. I don't need to be told it or follow rules or follow someone else's opinion. So I just wanted to get away to do that, which is so nice where we create these environments where people can do that with no judgment or agenda or drinking or, I don't know, not many places you can do that, is there?
The key thing is, as you've probably experienced yourself in your own spiritual journey, to have a safe place where you can feel like, well, in a sense, you can fall apart in safety. That is the key thing. And so having, here at Gaunts, a beautiful place, having the space, the real feeling of safety, the understanding that the environment is here for this kind of purpose. All of those things really sort of build together to make it possible for the students to really touch that place.
Healing is by oneself and for oneself. And in this space I've been allowed to heal myself, I feel, in a way that would have not been possible otherwise. And the tribe has grown, or at least you're more aware of who's there for you, and they're really there for me, and they're supporting, and vice versa. And that is such a blessing. One minute you're talking to a stranger on the phone, the next thing they're in your life in a big way. I thought people were coming up to me to complain at times when they were asking for advice and things like that, and you just suddenly realise that people are not relying on it. I mean, people needed me, and I've never felt, I've never been blessed. Well, it was quite humbling, to say the least, and enriching.